Welcome to Japan, and I'm very glad that you make a speech tonight, on very important topics like financial innovation and financial science. So I really appreciate you being here. On this occasion, I would like to ask you two things. One is your views on the future of financial sort of science in a kind of message, particularly if you have a Japanese audience in mind. What kind of message that you'd like to say, and if you can just sort of make a brief reviews available to us, I would appreciate that.
Well, about finance, and despite some more recent times sort of political nationalisms and so forth, finance really is global. It's local in its own characteristics, but it's an integrated system. And I've been at this almost 50 years, and I've had the great good fortune to be going along as this all has developed. And I will say that with all that's been accomplished, we've got much further to go. There's a lot to do. So coming to the case of what I see in the future, we're seeing the combination of technology, fintech and so forth, which is going to transform very large parts of the financial system. I think it's going to generally lower costs, and it's certainly going to allow us to do more things than we could before because the costs are down. And I think those who are underserved in financial services, even within every country, so even here in Japan, a mature, wealthy, coherent, country, there are people who probably don't get as well served with financial services as they might be. I think that will come with that. So I'm excited about the idea of the bringing of finance and continuing this process to improve it.
Yes. Thank you very much. And also you mentioned about technology, and we'll be very much influenced by the progress of technology. So my next question is the future of the investment professionals, how they should relate to the technological progress. Some people say, for example, artificial intelligence will take over the job of analysts. But in my view, maybe the machines are machines. So AI means the augmented intelligence, which will help the people to do the job. So how do you view the relation between these two?
Well, I have a very definite view on that. I come from MIT. I spent most of my professional life at MIT. And artificial intelligence, as it's called, or augmented intelligence, actually augmented, or sometimes we can call it assisted intelligence. But both augmented and assisted intelligence, I prefer. We're not going to change it because it's called artificial intelligence, because it connotes what I think is the reality. The reality is it's unbelievable that some of these things can do. But other things, it's really dumb. But let me tell you that one particular part that's important in finance is there are whole areas that technology is just going to go very fast. It's going to replace things. I just came from China, the Alipay and so forth. I couldn't, in the airport, I couldn't buy something in a store with my credit card, okay? Which is also one of the problems. But, and this is very much related to the analysts, that will happen whenever you're dealing with calculations, processing, payment systems, anything that can be made transparent and or verified. Meaning, even if it's a black box, if we can test it easily and sort of verify, hey, it keeps working, even if we don't know how it works, we'll use it.
I see.
So that's Alipay. Nobody who uses the payment system that has any idea what models are being used. So it's not transparent, but you can verify. Now I come to the point. The point is, there's a very important both in magnitude but also in value, part of finance, which can neither be made transparent nor verified.
I see.
And that's financial advice. That, as a statistician, or I sometimes pose to an audience, how long, if I was managing your money, started today, how long would I have to manage your money before you could get a statistically significant conclusion that I'm a good one or not? And, you know, people say, oh, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And then I show them, it depends on the numbers, but somewhere around 40 to 400 years, which means as a practical matter, you can't just verify it the way you do a payment system. I bring that up. So if you cannot verify it, and it can't be made transparent, there is only one other way you can do that activity, and that's with trust. And to finish the point, and this is where, you know, people, whatever, I'm not going to say how you create the trust. The only thing I will say is that technology by itself will not create trust. It will not by itself. So if you know, everything is a model, including physics and chemistry. Models are incomplete. Okay? What does that mean? It means judgment has to be done what's in the model. And as long as you have judgment, AI is amazingly good at many things. And it's going to get better. But it's not really good at that kind of judgment. I haven't seen anything. So I think that the world is actually going to be different, and this relates very much to the analysts. No question, some types of analysts work. You know, taking something out of a 10K and putting it into that's going to be automated. It already is. Those things will go away. But those who have the trust asset, meaning you trust me or you trust my firm, whatever, that's going to get, not only is that valuable, it's going to get more valuable because the technology actually makes the system more opaque. You know, if I had my phone here, it's a beautiful black box. But they all are black boxes. That's opacity. Greater opacity, the value of trust is greater. So for the analyst who plays a very important role in investing and in evaluating, let's say, complex financial products, plays a very important role. The trust is going to be the big factor. And as I say, the more automated it is, the more valuable the trust asset. So I think for people in that regime, that part of finance and that part of what they bring to the table are actually going to be not only not lose their job, but going to become more valuable. So I have a very definite view about that, and and we've seen it happen in other domains like entertainment, sports, and so forth. And I just think that it's very clear to me that that's the way it goes. So it's a somewhat different story than the narrative that's usually talked about.
Well, thank you really very much for your reassurance of the future of the investment profession. I'm so relieved.
It's more than reinsurance. I'm excited.
Good.
That means it's going to be for the people who have the right training, and they're going to be able to do things that you wouldn't have imagine could be done.
Okay, so we look forward to that period. Thank you very much.
Thank you.